No, the title is not clickbait, and you honestly might want to be farming for one of these. The something new is going to be a 120 round per minute stasis hand cannon. Now in PvE, hand cannon has been in a pretty tough spot for the longest time. Even with the most recent 20% damage buff, they still aren't performing as good as other weapons. And Bungie has acknowledged that, and they even said that they plan on buffing them in the future seasons. These numbers are subject to change, but as of right now, it seems that we're going to be getting a 20% increased damage to red bar enemies and a 75% increased damage to orange bar enemies. Obviously, that is a lot of damage, and hopefully on minor red bar enemies, you can easily get one shots now, and then on major targets, it won't feel like you're shooting a pea shooter. So that's part of the reason I think the something new has potential to be good. Since it is a 120 archetype, it's going to hit the hardest, so you will potentially always get a one shot on these red bar enemies, no matter what level of content you're in, potentially even a two shot on something like GMs. And then also being able to chunk orange bar enemies down with a single shot also could be potentially really good. But obviously there has to be a little bit more working on the back end to make this stand out among other hand cannons. So let's take a look at its perks and talk about what separates it from others. In the first column, we have Feed and Frenzy, Wall Spring, Triple Tap, Discord, Rapid Hit, Subsistence, and Pugilist. And then in the second column, we have Headstone, Demolitionist, Harmony, Kill Clip, Frenzy, Golden Tricorn, and Encore. So overall, it has some pretty good perks on it. For PvE, you have things like Headstone, Demo, Kill Clip, Frenzy can all be really good. Things like Feed and Frenzy, Subsistence, Wall Spring's also not terrible. Pugilist is also a good option. But the main role I want to take a look at and try to farm it is playing into its damage archetype, and that is Stasis. So with this hand cannon, as we said, you do have the ability to have Headstone on it, which is an extremely strong perk if you are playing into Stasis builds, which hopefully will get buffed next season or have artifact perks related to them, since we haven't seen that since the whole new system came out. But you can also pair those things like Subsistence and Feed and Frenzy, or even Rapid Hit. That's also a great perk on there that I missed on the first run through. But the main perk out of all those is for sure going to be Subsistence. Subsistence is going to be extremely strong because when you get kills with this weapon, it will refill the magazine. Subsistence actually can proc off of Headstone, since Headstone is technically doing weapon damage in the back end. It will actually proc Subsistance. And this will mean you will have pretty much infinite ammo in your hand cannon, and this will make it a great legendary weapon for added clear if you are playing into stasis builds. The main drawback to something new is the fact that it has a very low magazine, but obviously with Subsistence and the interaction with Headstone, you'll never have to worry about reloading the gun in the first place. And what can also help out with that is the fact that it does have this Dreamwork origin trait. So once per reload, assist or assisted final blows partially refill the weapon from reserves, potentially overflowing the magazine. Now this will only probably proc one time, since Subsistence will always keep the gun reloaded all the time. You'll never have to reload the gun, but this will work for a little bit, so it is something nice to have. And the only real competition with a Headstone hand cannon is probably going to be the Iasuna from the dungeon. And you could argue that the Iasuna is a little bit better, but where I think the something new is better is the fact that you don't actually have to reload the gun, where something like Iasuna, you have to get outlaw on it if you want to make it really perform well. On top of that, the Iasuna isn't a high impact frame hand cannon, so potentially with something new, you're going to be able to one shot the red bars more, which plays into what Headstone wants to do. And also the Iasuna is from the dungeon, whereas this just comes from the event that is really easy to do. So this is the main role I would recommend trying to get on your something new if you want to play into stasis builds, but obviously there are some other good perks on here as well if you're not playing into stasis builds. To round up this role, I would definitely just take armor piercing rounds to get 5% more damage to combatant shields and PvE, and probably just something to increase the handling, since it is a lower handling hand cannon, just so you can just use the gun a lot easier. Taking extended mag could be nice, since obviously you're going to be running Subsistence anyway, but I don't think you'll even need the couple extra shots, since you're going to be refilled anyway at all times, because Headstone again will proc Subsistence. So taking that extra shield damage to me is just the way to go, and you get a little extra range. Now for other roles, you have generic things like Feed and Frenzy, Kill Clip. Obviously that's really good. You get a bunch of reload speed, you get some damage. That could be pretty fun in PvE. This is always going to be a very solid role for PvE if you're not building into other things. You also have things like Wellspring and Demolitionist, which is extremely strong paired together, because Demo gives you grenade energy, then Wellspring will also give you grenade energy. Pairing this with a stasis turret warlock build, again since this is stasis damage, you can spam out a bunch of stasis turrets, and this is actually a role I have from the previous Solstice event, and it is absolutely amazing, and I'm excited to try to use this with the hand cannon buffs. Now you also have things like Frenzy, which is really good for getting a damage increase and also a bunch of other stats. rapid hit's also really good on it. It's not the craziest thing. I would say the rapid hit's probably better for PvP than PvE, but overall it's still a really good perk if you want to run that. Pugilist demo, again, kind of pairing that together so you can get both your energy back, which is extremely nice. And overall, there's just not really much that you can go wrong with this weapon for PvE. I don't know if it's going to be the best thing in the game, but it is something to keep an eye out for with those buffs that are coming. Now, if you were curious for PvP, it does have some fun rolls. I don't think this is going to overtake other hand cannons we already have, but things like Discord and Harmony, you know, you get a kill with another weapon, you're going to have essentially infinite ammo that you never have to reload, and then also Harmony gives you a damage increase. That could be nice. The main thing people want to get is kill clip, because this will allow you to get a 2-tap just by getting 1 kill. So something like kill clip, rapid hit is probably going to be your best option. And then for your other stats, just go with what makes the gun feels best for you. Obviously, more range on a hand cannon is nice, but on something like a 120, you may want more stability or handling, just so you can handle the gun a little bit better to actually hit your shots. But this weapon does have some fun stuff for PvP, so if you see a roll like Discord Harmony, want to try it out, be sure to keep it. But the main thing is, if you see a rapid hit kill clip roll, that is the one you for sure want to keep. So in conclusion, currently in the game, the something new is not the best thing that you can run, but with the potential of these hand cannon buffs upcoming, I think having a headstone roll could be potentially very, very fun, especially if you do see stasis buffs alongside the artifact perks. Even if you don't want to run with the headstone roll, things like Wellspring Demo, Feed and Frenzy Kill Club, Pugilist Frenzy, all these are really good combinations as well, but I would highly recommend playing into what it is strong at, and I think that is going to be the subsistence headstone roll. For PvP, again, your rapid hit kill clip is going to be probably your best option, but be on the lookout for Discord and Harmony as well, just for a fun little gimmicky roll. I'm super excited for the potential of hand cannons because headstone is one of my favorite perks in the entire game, and I really do believe that this weapon will do it the best out of every other weapon. And again, it's super easy to farm. You don't have to have a dungeon, just do the lava fin and you can get one to drop. But anyways, though, that's going to do it all for me. Let me know what you all think about the something new hand cannon down below. Are you going to be farming for it? Have you already gotten a roll that you like? Are you mainly going for PvE or PvP? I'd love to know your opinions on everything about this gun, and also just know if you're enjoying Solstice in general. But I really hope you all enjoyed and learned something new, and if you did, consider subscribing and dropping a like. However, just know that watching the video means way more than enough to me, and just that every single bit of support from you all is truly appreciated. Thank you all so much for watching this one. Have a great day. Peace.